Picture feeding an entire novel into a language model or a whole codebase and asking it to reason across all of it at once. Here is the wall you smash straight into. Full attention compares every token to every other token, so the cost grows with the square of the length. Double the document and you quadruple the work. Push toward book-length inputs and it becomes flat-out impossible. So here is the clever escape hatch. What if each token only looked at its nearby neighbors, instead of the entire sequence? That single idea turns a quadratic monster into something linear, and it is how modern models swallow enormous context. Let's unpack it. First, let us see the exact problem sliding windows were built to solve. Full attention lets every token see every other token in the sequence. That is wonderfully expressive, but the cost is brutal. Comparison scale with the square of the length, so a sequence 10 times longer takes 100 times the work and memory. For long documents, books, or sprawling code bases, that quickly becomes completely prohibitive. The window pattern restricts each token to a small local neighborhood. Instead of the whole sequence, a token attends only to the nearest few thousand tokens on each side. Cost now grows linearly with length rather than quadratically, which is precisely what makes very long contexts affordable to run. So how does a purely local window still capture information from far away? Follow the mechanism one step at a time. Start with a single token. Instead of attending across the entire sequence, it looks only at a fixed window of neighbors, say a few thousand tokens to its left and right. Everything beyond that window is simply out of view for this layer. Compute attention only inside that window. Because each token compares itself against a bounded number of neighbors rather than the whole sequence, the work per token is constant, and the total cost grows only linearly with length. That is the entire efficiency win right there. Now stack the layers, and here is the subtle magic. In the next layer, a token attends to neighbors that themselves already gathered information from their own neighbors. So the effective receptive field widens with every layer, very much like stacked convolutions in vision. And distant tokens connect indirectly. A token deep in the network can be influenced by one far outside its immediate window, relayed hop by hop across many layers. Local attention at every step, but global reach for the model overall. So you pay the cost of looking only nearby, yet you still get the benefit of long-range understanding, just spread out across the depth of the stack. Boil it down, and 3 ideas carry the whole sliding window story. It restricts attention to a local window. Each token attends only to a fixed band of nearby tokens instead of the whole sequence, resting on the simple observation that most genuinely useful context tends to be local anyway. It turns quadratic cost into linear. Bounding the number of comparisons per token means compute and memory scale with the length itself, not its square, and that is what unlocks book length and codebase length inputs on real hardware. Stacked layers still reach far, and it bounds the KV cache. Depth relays information across windows, so distant tokens still connect, and the cache only ever holds the window's worth of keys and values. It is often paired with a few global tokens everyone can see. Alright, let us lock in the essentials. The window pattern restricts each token to a fixed neighborhood of nearby tokens instead of the entire sequence. That cuts attention's quadratic cost down to linear, which is what lets models handle very long documents, books, and code bases efficiently. Even though each layer only looks locally, stacking layers grows the effective receptive field, so distant tokens still influence each other across depth, much like the way stacked convolutions widen their view. Used prominently in Longformer and Mistral, it bounds the KV cache to the window and often adds a few global tokens for critical information. Want more of these efficiency tricks demystified? We break them down without the jargon over at standarity.com. Jump in and keep exploring with us.